think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Say hello to Melania, a 6-star Beast Arcanist released with Reverse 1999's 1.1 update and the Theft of the Rimmet Cup event. Melania's kit is classified as a mental burst DPS unit, similar to Lilia from my last video. However, if you look at Melania's kit, you will see that it stretches so wide that it honestly makes me feel bad for Lilia. If you saw my last video, you know that the strength of Lilia as a reality burst DPS unit came from her crit rate and damage stats and her ultimate 700% scaling. You may be wondering to yourself, how does Melania keep up with Lilia without just becoming a copy with reality damage? Well, it's simple. Her secondary effects and her self buffs are practically broken. So let's get into it. Man, this semester sure has been tough. Oh hey Melania, what are you up to? Finding out how some people robbed a bank in 1961? Shouldn't you be studying for the final exams tomorrow? No, exams start this week. Don't you remember the professor telling us? Melania's stats when compared to Lilia at max level Insight 3 are pretty standard with a few differences. Her attack, health, and reality defense are slightly higher. Meanwhile, her mental defense is about 60% higher than Lilia's, and her technique is about 40% less than Lilia's, leaving her with more tankiness and a lower crit rate and damage stat overall. For Melania's skills, we'll get started with her ultimate this time around. Its effects are part of what make Melania go sicko mode. Ridiculous Eyewitness Testimony deals 650% mental damage to a single target and gives Melania 1 stack of Thief Master. You can see, just based on the scaling, that Melania's ultimate almost reaches Lilia's heights. What gets her flying is her buff, Thief Master. Melania's first skill, Silent Takedown, gives ridiculous Moxie Denial and Generation. With a 2-star skill card, she is able to remove 1 Moxie from the target. But if she has a 3-star skill card, she will remove and gain 1 Moxie. This is a very good secondary already, but if Melania has a stack of Thief Master, she will steal 1 Moxie from the target regardless of the card's skill level. Her second skill, Clockwork of Rats, targets 2 enemies and heals for 20% of the damage dealt. If Melania has a stack of Thief Master, all star levels will heal for 30% more and grant her 1 Moxie. So, if you were keeping track, Melania isn't just a mental burst DPS. She is that, plus a Moxie Denier, a self-Moxie Generator, and a self-healer. Jesus! Unfortunately for Lilia, this isn't over. Melania's inheritance, Top Student, goes hard. At Insight 1, every use of her ultimate grants 1 stack of Fixed Plan, which increases her ultimate's power by 12% per stack up to 6, and it cannot be dispelled. At Insight 2, she gets an 8% buff to damage dealt. And at Insight 3, each use of her ultimate grants another stack of Fixed Plan. This means that as a battle goes on, Melania's ultimate will surpass Lilia's ultimate's base scaling after just 3 uses. I sort of dismissed Lilia's portrayals in my last video because of their general improvements that didn't require any special mentions. Melania is not in the same situation though. Her second portrayal gives her ultimate an additional stack of Thief Master on cast. Bruh. Let me say it again. Bruh. Melania pumps out burst damage like no one else when she gets the snowball rolling, which is ultimately her only drawback. She takes a few rounds to set up her max potential, but that is it. Hello? Is anyone in there? I really need to use the bathroom. The bathroom doesn't need security. Let me in! Just like last time, we'll finish things off with some Psychube recommendations and some Arcanists that synergize with Melania. We'll keep the Psychube recommendations a little short this time, and I'll just give the current best options. From the Rimmet Cup's event shop, you could get Luxurious Leisure, which grants ultimate might, and after each single target ultimate cast, grants a damage dealt buff up to 3 times. Given Melania gets most of her damage from her ultimate, this is her best choice. Now, if you weren't around for the Rimmet Cup event, you can get Brave New World, which also boosts ultimate might, but increases the damage for the next incantation after she casts an ultimate. If you have Melania in a semi-support second DPS role, you could consider equipping her with His Bound and Doom. This Psychube grants damage bonus as its primary stat, and heals the carrier for 60% of their attack each time they defeat another enemy. Finally, if you want to pretend Melania is just Lilia but better, you can use Lilia's signature Psychube Thunderous Applause, which grants scaling crit rate and gives additional critical damage when you have a critical one-target attack. Alrighty, now just the Arcanist team recommendations. As a quick generalization, my friend pointed out to me that units that inflict petrification are a great pair for Melania, because her mental damage attacks won't dispel the debuff. First, Baby Blue, a 5-star Arcanist with a single target mental defense debuff behind a 2-star skill card, and a mass debuff which reduces damage taken while increasing damage enemies take. Her mass attack ultimate can also inflict Nightmare if enemies are debuffed when it's cast. Nightmare will in turn prevent any action for the turn that it is inflicted. Secondly, you can use Twin Sleep, 2 Spirit Arcanists as 1 unit who have a mental defense debuff behind a 2-star skill card and a mass debuff that reduces enemy damage by 25% and reduces their critical defense. They also passively increase applied debuff's duration every other round. Their passive, on its own, can increase many units' effectiveness, but I am mostly focusing on increasing Melania's damage through debuffing in this section. Getting spooky before the 1.2 update will let you use Poltergeist, a Spirit Arcanist who also has a mental defense debuff under the same conditions as the previous 2 units. However, Poltergeist mainly focuses on taking enemy aggro, dodging reality damage, and healing from damage taken. If you've taken your meds, Medicine Pocket can be helpful as well, as a Beast Arcanist with healing, damage taken reduction mass buffs, single round enemy damage taken debuffs, and an ultimate with Daze and Moxie generation. She can work well as a general support from Melania on any team. Lastly, as long as you like hippies, you could use Digger, a plant Arcanist with a focus on debuffing. His mass debuff reduces the reality and mental defense of the enemy while also denying them Moxie at higher skill levels. He has enemy damage reduction behind a 2-star skill card, and, like Baby Blue, his ultimate inflicts Nightmare on debuffed enemies. Because my first video came out after version 1.1 went live, I wasn't able to get this video out in time for Melania's banner. If you are looking to get her after the Rimmet Cup event, you can find her in her own banner, Pop is Everything, or in the permanent Arcanist summon pool, but good luck with that. Alright, I've been DT. If the mic quality is different, it's because I tried a different setup and I think it might be worse. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.